Greetings everybody, and welcome to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to start with a disclaimer. So today I'm going to talk about a product. I don't consider myself to be particularly qualified to talk about products, but I do want to make the point that the product that I'm going to talk about, I'm not being paid to say anything about this product. I've bought this product with my own money, and I've bought this product with my own choices. But what I want to share with you is the fact that it's been so successful as a product choice. And I've talked a lot about, do your research, buy once. I'm just trying to turn the camera down a little bit. Do your research and buy once. Don't buy several times. So what I want to talk to you about today is the Kase K9 filter holder. Now, I've recently purchased this holder and I've only been using it for 4 or 5 days, and I'm smitten, completely and totally smitten by it. Let me just describe to you the reason why I wanted to swap to another filter holder. I'm not going to name the filter holder that I was using because that would be unfair. But the filter holder system I was using, it's very similar in many respects to the Kase. It started to rain. In that you have a ring that you attach to the front of your camera, and that ring is sized to the lens that you're using. So I'm just going to screw that on. This is the Kase ring, by the way. You then had another ring, and this was the ring to which the filter holder would attach, and that goes over the front of this ring. So in terms of new and old, exactly the same, but from this point on, this is where it gets different. So with my old system, if I wanted to use the polarizer would then screw into the filter holder ring. You'd have to actually physically screw it in, and that was fine. However, occasionally the filter holder and the ring, they would get stuck. You wouldn't actually be able to get the polarizer off, and sometimes I just had to make do without using it because out in the landscape I just couldn't get it off. And even when I got home, I'd actually have to get a little watch screwdriver and just prise it into the corner in order to release it and then get the thing off. Now, I did a little bit of research and I found that it was a common issue, but the solution was to have 2 rings. One ring with the polarizer on and the other ring without a polarizer. Great, says I. So I went and bought 2 filter holder rings. One of them had the polarizer attached, the other one didn't. And that was a sort of a compromise solution to the whole situation. But I then encountered instances where I'd be out in the landscape, say at the seaside or by the side of a river. I would be using the ring that had the polarizer on it. I've got raindrops on my camera now. That's a little bit annoying. There was me thinking I could just make a very quick video, and it's all gone to pot. Let me just clean my lens. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? I'm probably going to have to do that quite a lot. Yeah, I'd be at somewhere where I'd be using a polarizer to remove glare off water. So, the seaside or a river or a waterfall or whatever. And then I would turn around and I'd see something over there. So I would want to then take the ring with the polarizer off and exchange it for the ring that didn't have the polarizer. Now, sometimes that worked, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes that ring with the polarizer would come off, but it would take the sizing ring, the initial ring, that would come with it. And I would then have to be trying to get that sizing ring off, but bear in mind I've got a piece of glass here, so I can't exactly get my fingers right inside that ring in order to try and release the sizing ring. I'd be having to try and do it very, very carefully, and the polarizer is an expensive piece of glass, so I'm trying to be really, really careful. And I thought, you know what, I don't want to have a sizing ring for my most popular lens permanently attached to the ring that's got the polarizer on it. And there were a few occasions where I just couldn't get the damn thing off. So I'd have to wait till I got home and then, you know, get a small pair of pliers and just tease it off. So although I'd found a compromise to my polarizer situation, it was flawed. There were occasions where it just didn't work. Hence me looking for something different. So with the Kase system, you have exactly the same rings. You have a sizing ring appropriate for the lens that you're using, and then you have a filter holder ring. Over the filter holder ring, you have your filter holder. So I'm just going to get out of my bag. It's a little bit wet, so I can't get the damn thing out. There we go. So here is the Kase filter holder ring, and it just pops over the top. He says I need to undo the locking ring first, so you pop that over the top and then you do it up. And what I always do is I give the filter holder a little bit of a wiggle, make sure it's securely attached. And you do the thing up and it's there rock solid. If you want to rotate it, all you have to do is undo it ever so slightly, and then you can lock it off again. And I really like that. This little dial here is to turn the polarizer, but for the Kase system the polarizer is magnetic, and this is where this system, for me anyway, scores. So where's the polarizer gone? I've got it in here somewhere. It's hiding. There it is, right down the bottom of the slot, like so. So this is the polarizer. You actually get the polarizer with the kit, and to fit the polarizer, because it's magnetic, it just slots on like so. There we go, and then you can turn it using that little dial there. There is writing on one side of the polarizer, and it's the writing that goes in towards the lens, so you can't get it the wrong way round. Well, you can, but that writing helps me to get it the right way round. Now I have to wear glasses for reading. I can do all of this without having to put my glasses on. With my other system, I always had to put my glasses on, which, if you're needing to react quickly to a situation, it's a handicap, because I then have to find my glasses, I stick them on my face, then go and find all the kit, and it just used to frustrate me. Magnetic polarizer, I can actually remove it. My nails are really short, but I've still got enough purchase to be able to get this polarizer off, and it's so easy to remove. I can just slide the filter holder out, the filter out, prop it off, pop the filter back in, boom, I'm ready to go again. Also with my previous system, I found the slots on the holder were very, very tight. So tight that if I wanted to use a grad and a neutral density, so let's say I was doing a long exposure, it was so tight that I had to take the filter holder off in order to prise the filters out again. In fact, I actually got some little tiny thin pieces of plastic. I think they came off a packet of cheese or something like that, you know, the very, very edge, to create some little slithers of plastic to put in between the shims, just to give them a little bit more space, which is bonkers. I mean, I paid probably the thick end of £200 for that kit, and I'm having to make modifications to it in order to use it. This one, filters go straight in, they're not tight, but they're firm enough to hold the filter, and also I can manipulate them nice and easy. The last thing that I really like about this is that it all fits in my filter holder bag. So I'm just going to pop the polarizer back in, because it is raining, it's horrible out here now. So let's take the filter holder off. Filter holder, let's put that in there, will fit in one of these slots in the Lee filter pouch, like so. With my previous system, I couldn't do that. The filter holder was so large, I used to actually have to attach it on the back. But then putting it in my camera bag was actually a little bit awkward. That goes straight in, and what I tend to do is, because of this lens, which is my Olympus 12 to 100mm lens, this is a lens that tends to live on my camera. I've actually got one of these case caps that fits over the top, and they've got some nice little lugs on the outside that clip into place like so. And when you buy these things, they come in a pack of 3, which is really handy. When I purchased my kit, I just purchased it to use for this lens, but I am going to get some more of these filter holder rings in order for me to actually have these permanently attached. And these are like 4 or 5 quid. These are nothing in the big scheme of things. For my previous system, these filter holders were anything upwards of 20 quid, and I had 2. Whereas I could spend the same amount of money and have enough filter holder rings for my entire lens collection that I carry in my bag, of which there are 3. So I'd be spending 15 quid in order to have holder rings. So for me, this is a choice that's just worked. It's worked so well, and that's why I'm choosing to share it with you. Now, equipment choice is personal. There are going to be lots of people out there who use the filter system I used to use and are quite happy with it, and they would probably rave about it just as much as I've raved about this one. But everybody is different and everybody is fickle. I think the fact that I have to wear glasses is a factor as to why this system wins for me, because alright, it's a physical handicap being long-sighted, but the fact that I've got a system that I can use within that handicap is such a bonus, such a piece of gold for me to be able to react quickly to a situation. That's it for this video. I hope it's been useful. I will repeat again, please don't go and buy this system just based on my recommendation alone. If what I've said to you hits a chord and you're struggling with your own system and you're sitting there thinking, okay, that might be the one for me, then please do your research, look at other reviews and just understand fully the product that you're buying before you part with your hard-earned cash. I did that with this system and I am absolutely thrilled with it. My original filter holder system will be going on eBay very shortly. I'm going to let it go because I'm so sold on this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you're not a subscriber and this thing is this sort of content is of interest to you, then please do consider subscribing and hit on the bell button alongside the subscribe button and you'll get notified via YouTube when new content is added. I will make the point that normally the content on this channel is about landscape photography, my approach to landscape photography and how I encounter and deal with certain situations. This is very unusual for me to do an equipment review, but normally that's not what I'm doing. If this content appeals to you and you like it, please give me a like and a thumbs up. Thank you once again. Please do explore with your camera and keep exploring with your camera, and do your research. Do your research, buy once. Until the next one, take care and please stay safe. All the best.